And
I, I thought we were already
no,
recording
I hadn't hit the button.
because
I've hit the button.
whenever I go into whenever I get the link from you, it takes me and says you're about to enter a live recording. I'm like the the on air light is on of Z100, the hot
Z
FM.
Z100. It's no longer hot.
Can you take me back when we were just kids? We weren't scared of getting older, yeah. 'Cause no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but truth is, there's nothing like old friends. 'Cause you can't make old friends. Yeah. Can you take me back when we were just kids who weren't scared of getting older? Yeah. Now I've got some good friends now.
Welcome to the show that has little to no meaning and makes little to no sense. It is the show where you can expect the unexpected. This is Nonsensical Talk, on the air and in the cloud. Those crazy hosts will talk about anything and everything. And now, from their home studios in Middle Tennessee, here is your hosts, Alan Robertson and Joey Smith.
So Joey and I was just talking about empty nesters. Now 8 months. All of our kids have finally flew the coop, if you will. So we've been chit chatting about how life is different. Mine has sped up, and I don't know, Joey. I mean, you're telling me yours is kind of doing the same.
Yeah, it's very similar. Uh, you actually just have more traveling. Whenever and Alan was sharing, he has a child in Louisville, Kentucky, and
One up in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio,
So
and so he's made some trips to both. You've got to. Do you ever try to knock those out? Stop at Louisville.
no, because that's 6.5 hour, but roughly 6 hours to get to Columbus. It's a stretch on the old people. And we're not young anymore. 55, and you're getting ready to hit that big 55.
Yeah,
Yeah, whenever you start driving that, I mean, thank God Buc-ee's is there in Scottsville. So what's this called? Smithville, or whatever that exit is there on the
kind of
north
up there
side.
by Horse Cave.
Yeah, it's real close to It's about 15 minutes north of Bowling Green.
Yeah,
So Buc-ee's gets a lot of my service. We leave the house usually when we go to Columbus or Louisville. We leave the house at like 5 in the morning, and Buc-ee's is always good at 6:30 for breakfast. They make
breaks
some
it up,
great
breaks up the
breakfast.
trip a little bit.
Oh yeah.
What do you get at Buc-ee's?
Always get the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. And let me tell you, for breakfast, the bomb. Uh, Ricky, my brother-in-law, loves the frickin' brisket sandwich. I have yet to get that because I'm afraid it's going to give me heartburn because I am old.
Okay.
But I'm going to try it one day. I did get the smoked sausages last time, and oh, good, it is great. So I would highly suggest. I can't wait for the one to end up right there north of you, Joey, at Pembroke Road. There in
Yeah, right there.
Oak
That's
Grove.
that's technically Pembroke, Oak Grove,
Yep, is one side's
zip
Pembroke,
code.
one side's Oak Grove, and I think they're building it on the Pembroke side. There, so I can't wait for it to show up because that's a lot closer than driving all the way to north of Bowling Green. Uh, yeah, I can't wait. That may be my Saturday morning destination. So, anyways, we're back doing a little show. We're going to try to put more of these on because we figure, hey, we like to talk, and there's a lot of things. Joey and I occasionally will start texting things back and forth with ideas. And I'm going to tell you, I thought of a great idea probably 6 months ago, told Joey about it, and things just sped up in life so fast. New position at work, kids all out of the house, and I've got to go visit them because my wife is loving the trips now that the dogs are no longer having to be answered for because they have passed. But me and my wife just get in the vehicle on Saturday morning or Sunday morning and we're gone. Uh, but one of those things I talked to Joey about was saying, hey, let's let AI generate us a show. And I'm going to tell you, I did it. I've done it probably 4 times, and I've done it again today. So the topics that we're going to talk about are all IA generated or IA generated.
This is awesome, Alan. This is awesome. I'm just going to tell you, I was just thinking about it whenever you sent me the text, because I was like, it was a couple months ago, Alan. I saw this TikTok that said, here's something to type into Chat GPT and to generate show topics. And I was thinking about that before you and I got on the air. But it's good that I've not seen this list.
Yes. So
I do better shooting from the hip.
Let me tell you, it gave me the top 10 for this week because believe it or not, it's something different every week. I've done it probably 4 or 5 times, and it pulls up Nonsensical Talk, and it does everything that's Nonsensical Talk. Believe it or not, it's tailored for our podcast.
So it might not have the Pope conclave in it?
No, not the conclave. There's no conclave. And there's no Donald Trump as Pope. Which I saw this morning.
Because that's for a different community.
That's a different.
You guys are not on Nonsensical Talk.
And that's here. It. But before we get nonsensical, big shout out to the people that make this wonderful product here. Okay. I'm not getting anything for this, right? This is just, I've been doing this for 3 months, and I'm going to tell you what, my body feels freaking fabulous. The older you get, the more swelling in your joints, the stiffer your feet. I've had a problem with plantar fasciitis my whole life. But let me tell you, Crocs are the number one thing to get rid of plantar fasciitis while you're walking around the house. And I wouldn't believe that, but I can walk in the house now without any pain.
So use those as like house slippers?
Yes.
Is that what you're...
Absolutely. I would suggest Crocs, but this thing right here, and it's a little pricey, but I'm going to tell you, this is a lifesaver. It's called Dose. It's for your liver. Basically, it's got turmeric, milk thistle, and some kind of protein or potent and clean, 0 sugars, 0 calories. And you take a 2-ounce shot every morning. And I'll tell you what, the swelling in my joints, I can get up out of bed now without having to worry about ibuprofen. I am now weaned from ibuprofen thanks to this stuff right here.
Where you get it
at? Online, it's dose.uk or mydose.uk, MYDOS.
So it's coming from the Great Britain.
Actually, this is made in the great US of A. Let's see.
Wonder why it's coming from.
I don't know if it's
United Kingdom.
I don't know why it's got the United Kingdom, but this is actually coming out of Los Angeles, California, is where it's distributed.
Okay. So no tariffs on that.
No tariffs, because if there were tariffs, let me tell you, it would probably too damn much for it. It's like I said, it's pricey, but it's worth it. Makes my life much easier. So anybody out there listening that wants to know about this, I will put it on the website so you can go take a peek at it. But now I've gotten past the non-advertising commercial or non-profitable commercial to help all of us older folks out there that you graduated with us and graduated behind us. Because everybody that's usually listening to this if you look at the demographics, we have between 45 and 65 is our listening audience. So great job, people. Be sure to check that out. If you don't do nothing but 1 month supply to try it, because like I said, it is a bit pricey. So just try it. If you like it, you'll do what I do.
What does it taste like?
It tastes, so let me tell you.
You say you take a shot in the morning.
You take a shot in the morning and it wakes up your mouth. It tastes like a sweet tangerine, a massively sweet tangerine citrus. Um, when you
I'm picturing. Remember when, I guess it was in the 90s, whenever 5 Hour Energy, those little, and they were just like
yes, that's about the little
citrus.
2-ounce shot. I think
Yeah, it was
those were
just,
like mixed berry, and they kind of had
yeah,
a sweet flavor to them, even though it didn't have sugar. I don't know where the sweetness came from, but this is the exact same way. Dose is
yeah.
it's kind of a sweet shot in the morning. I'm not a sweet kind of guy in the morning. I like a egg sandwich or something that's not sweet, like a
You like a
donut.
salty.
Yeah. So this will definitely wake up your taste buds. Don't brush your teeth immediately and then take the shot.
Whoo! Like the orange juice.
Yes, I do that right now because I get up at 4 and start getting ready, and I finish brushing my teeth at 5. I go to the kitchen, and my wife's got the shot sitting right there on the bar, and it's and again, that could be from the brushing of the teeth that makes it really, 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 really sweet. But I digress.
You know what? What if you reverse that a little bit and you have the shot sitting right there on the nightstand,
You
right
know,
when you wake up? You just,
I don't know how devoted my wife is to me. It has to be cold. I will tell you that.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Don't drink it warm. This sits in the refrigerator, and I when we first got it, I did do it warm, but you have to refrigerate it after you open it. So I did the first shot kind of warm. It did not taste that well, but when it gets real cold, really good.
Let me adjust my camera here. There we go.
Get you in there with the Kentucky Wildcats. So you got Kentucky Wildcats. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I've got
Let's see
the
some of your
water
stuff
boy,
back here. Ah, Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. If you look at the back, Boucher. I bought this jersey as a prank back several years ago.
The Mudcats did win the Bourbon Bowl.
The Bourbon Bowl right there. It's a patch that comes on it, so it's all good. I bought it as a prank for a. They were saying wear your favorite team's jersey to work day. So 3 years ago, I can't remember who was in the Super Bowl. It wasn't nobody I liked, so probably didn't really care. Unlike this year, when I got to actually get into it a little bit better. Hey, wished your team was there because I was really pulling for Allen, but you know what? The second team that got in there did what I wanted them to do, which is beat Kansas City. Shut up. That probably will take some of our Kansas City friends away. But I digress. I'm just not a big KC fan, and I thought a lot of the calls that they had against them were not good. So, without further ado, Joey, here we go. Top 10 topics for our podcast. We're going to start with the first one. The first one is, let's talk about the weirdest thing people do in public. That is, I went, what? It says, and why we secretly love it.
Weird things. You know what comes to mind whenever I think of that?
What's that?
I love people watching. I like being in a city I don't live in,
Watching.
at a park while my family has to use the bathroom or something like that, and I'm just kind of leaning up against a wall, and I just kind of get to watch people, and then whenever they come out, and I'm like, yes, don't say anything, don't look that way.
There.
But this is what led up to what's happening right now. And so I'm trying to think of some of those examples that's probably going through your mind and some of the listeners' minds.
So my favorite people watching place is Walmart, and I don't know why.
That's a great point.
Yes,
some people are stressed out by Walmart.
I'm not.
It's usually one spouse or the other.
I love Walmart. It's the greatest
I
place.
love going in there because I know what to expect.
Yes.
I know if I go by the toy aisle, there's going to be some parent that
Going off on a
is
kid.
having a power struggle with a child that is gripping this toy that this is what I really want. And if you take it from me and put it back on the shelf, I'll never see that again. And they're trying to hold it together. And Alan, you and I, we've been there before, so we're just kind of like spectators now, and just
Let me tell you, we'd
like to say, "Hey, hang in there."
yes, I live in Dixon, right? So Dixon Walmart's laid out perfect. The toy aisle is right beside the old people's medicine aisle. So, and then your deodorants. And so when you get older, you don't think about all the other stuff. You think about, okay, I've got to have vitamins, I've got to have deodorant, I've got to have shaving cream, all this stuff I got to have. And the toy aisle is right there. And so a few weeks ago, I'd say probably 6, 7 weeks ago, we were sitting there and we were getting some toothpaste, and my wife was always looking at the prices, whether we're going to get 1 tube or 3 tubes, because sometimes the prices kind of messed up different. And believe it or not, sometimes buying 3 in 1 pack is not always the best value. Check the prices. That'll get you. But there was a kid that had reached up and grabbed a toy from the shelf there. And I'll never forget the way the mother said, if you don't put that back, I will take and beat you out of this store. And I sit there and went, that is so wrong. That is so wrong. I will beat you all the way out of this store. It's like, oh, come on. And
you could do the math. You can think about, like, if you were at the electronics section or the automotive section, that's a long beating. That's or can we go out the back door?
Now there is a side door.
Can I pick the door that we exit out of to see if I can measure? Is it worth getting a toy?
Is it worth the beating?
Like, I could see the doors right there.
Oh my
We're by
God.
the self checkout. I think I could take this beating. It's probably just a couple of good licks. And
so another one that pops to mind, Joey, is we were at Columbus last week for my granddaughter's 3rd birthday. So we went up to Columbus. My son came up to Columbus from Louisville, and I don't know why this is, but my children love to go to the zoo. So we went to the Columbus Zoo. Now, the first time we went to the Columbus Zoo, we walked almost 3.5 miles. Now, the problem with that is it was uphill most of the time. And I'm not exaggerating, because it went to school uphill both ways in the snow and rain. Now, in the Columbus Zoo is not flat by all means. But so
it's topography.
Yeah, the last time we went up to safari and all this other, saw the giraffes and stuff like that. This time we went down and went to the left and was in the orangutans and all this other place. As I got to the zoo, I was, my granddaughter and my wife and my daughter went into the bathroom, and me and my son-in-law were sitting on a bench. And he goes, I don't know why this is, but the older that I get, the more I like to just sit and watch people. I went, so you're getting old. That's people watching. The kid is 24 years old. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 55 and I'm watching people too. And the thing is I'm always watching for that unique person. I'm not watching everybody. I'm looking for a unique person. Something you'd be like, why in the world did they come out dressed in that? Oh, that's
so what
hilarious.
You're describing, Alan, is the Western Kentucky State Fair.
Oh, no. Columbus is a little bit more tame than that, but not much more.
Every state has a Western Kentucky State Fair for some reason. Like, hey, you guys moved the Western Kentucky State Fair here. You have one too.
So what was that that Jeff Foxworthy said? Oh, somebody, who was it? It was it's just Aunt Edna or whatever her name was. Well, look at this man. They were at the fair, and it was I guess the weight thing. So great topic. We could talk hours on this one alone, because people watching is definitely fun, but the weird things that people do in public.
Here's what we could say on this clip right here is comment below. and let us know some of the weirdest stuff that you've seen.
Yes.
And it could be specifically at your county fair or / carnival, because some of our communities are rural. Alan and I grew up in Lafayette, Kentucky, and we didn't have a carnival or a fair, but we had to drive 30 miles
North.
to the Western Kentucky State Fair, and we would hear the Judds is going to be playing or something like that. And we had to go up there on Pepsi night because it was the cheapest night.
And get the band, sit in line for
get the band for $8 and just ride all night. It's not paid by the ride,
Right.
Then it's more like a one admission, and you've got the band, you've got the Pepsi band on. You're just showing the guy.
And you were running from attraction to attraction to attraction.
The Gravitron.
Oh God!
Or the Zipper.
Oh, now that one was fun. I did like
the Gravitron
Zipper.
And the Zipper were the two.
Those were the scariest. But let me tell you,
those were the ones that you've got to have those.
Yeah,
it's.
I think they still do have them.
A little bit like, you're going to tell me you're standing there running a carnival and you don't have a Gravitron, you don't have a Zipper, you don't have a cotton candy, you don't have a Midway.
And now the Midways are the biggest part of the fair. It's like they deep fry everything. Woo! Oreos, Twinkies, they don't care. They deep fry it. We didn't get that back whenever we funnel cakes were
those are
just
diabetes
coming
starter
out.
Kits.
Yeah,
that's diabetes starter kits right there.
You are not lying there.
All right. Comment below. Let us know some of the weirdest stuff you've seen.
And if you got pictures, share.
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord, that would be awesome to see a picture. I mean, I could do some. I think I've taken some. Even here in Dixon, there was a young lady wearing short shorts and cowboy boots and a jacket and some kind of funky hat. And my wife and I just sit there and laughed. We had a great time with that. If you're watching that and that was you, I'm sorry, but that was hilarious. So here we go. Second thing on the list: Southern sayings that make no sense, but hit just right. So the best one is the one that my sister always says. Bless her heart. I mean, what is that? I mean, that's showing sympathy, right? Bless her heart. And
it's not showing sympathy at all, Alan. You and I know.
No,
it is like
tongue in cheek.
It's a smile saying, "You idiot."
Oh, and I know you see
with a nice, kind tone.
It's a nice knockdown. Nice knockdown.
It's kind of like Southerners have that a similarity to Midwest nice. The folks in Wisconsin that they have what's called a Midwest nice, and it's throwing shade in a nice way, where it's kind of like, "Hey, Alan, nice shirt. It looks comfortable." It's that's an example of Midwest nice right there.
I love that. I'll have to look up some
basically
Midwest.
Saying, I would never wear that.
I wouldn't. You couldn't catch
but
me
it
dead
looks
now.
Comfortable. It looks like you're comfortable in it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Let's
see. We have those connections. We're building bridges to our Midwest relatives and our northern relatives. So they have their sayings as well. That's very similar. It's just a translation that's needed. We need that Midwest to Southern translation.
Mm-hmm.
But here's something that jumps out at me from that I've had to explain to some of my colleagues that live in other parts of the country. And I catch myself saying it now if I'm around them. Fixin' to.
Fixin' to. About to. Going to.
Yeah.
Yes.
We use the word fixin, and I don't know the origin of why fixin was replaced with I'm about to do blah blah
I'm
blah.
fixing to go to the
Well,
store.
I'm fixing to.
I'm fixing to go to the store.
I mean, we say it fluently that, hey, can you take out the trash or something if your wife or spouse asks you to do that, and you're like, I'm fixing to.
I'm fixing to.
I'm about to get around to it is basically what you're saying. But fixing, I've had people say that to me, that whenever they said fixing,
What's
like
another one?
they're picturing I'm repairing something.
Right.
And we're like, oh no, fixing has other definitions.
And I don't get Joey. So there's another one that kind of goes in with that one. Fixing is you're going to repair something.
Yeah.
Reckon is you're going to wreck something, but reckon doesn't mean that at all. Reckon means I guess.
It means I've considered all of the evidence that was here, and I've done the calculations, and according to the quadratic formula, and I reversed the cosine and multiplied the tangent. I reckon this is what I've concluded.
That is awesome. So,
something that they don't have on a tangent here, that you and I had, and some of our listeners probably had, is we would have these pictures that were given to us in elementary school. It was like 4 pictures, and the first picture was like a child walking on a sidewalk. It was like a little cartoon picture. The second picture is the child's holding like a balloon, or then you could see up the sidewalk a little bit. There was a skateboard laid out, and the child in the third picture was like getting closer to the skateboard, and you could tell that the child was looking at the balloon, and we were supposed to guess what are some of the possible fourth pictures would be. And it was teaching us about possible conclusions to our actions at that early age. I don't know if they do that now, but
I tell you
the evidence,
that's funny.
And I'm not, and I don't want to stereotype generations like Gen Z or Gen Y. I don't want to exclude those listeners because I could be totally wrong that they are taught the possible conclusions that could happen from their actions, but from the examples I've seen in society, I've seen a whole lot that goes against that evidence. That, like, didn't you know that this was one of the things that might come out of doing what you did? And like, I'm a good example could be that, well, I borrowed $46,000 the moment I got a job to get a car.
Yeah.
Alan and I, we drove cars that cost under $1,200 when we got a job, and we bought it with like cash, and that was like my first 3 cars. Is I had a Oldsmobile Starfire, I had a Pontiac, not Trans Am or Grand. It was like a 1978. I think it might have been Grand Prix is what it was, but it was like a boat. And
I remember
you remember the Impala, but not the cool Impala, Alan. It wasn't like a 1969 Impala.
Was that the brown one?
75 Impala, 4-door.
I
with a
remember
400 big block engine in it.
doing 35 mile an hour at
And
55 mile an hour zone. I remember that quite well,
yeah,
Joey.
I would ease up. I would ease up on Wednesday night church.
I'm driving
Just
fast.
proud of myself on this $400 car that that I was able to get, and then I had Fuzzy Bourne's truck.
Yep, I remember Fuzzy's truck.
After Fuzzy
3 in the
passed away,
shift,
his
or
daughter sold
was it 3 in the column?
3 in the column.
Yep, I remember that.
3 in the column, 3 in the tree.
3 in tree.
So is that was actually my first vehicle that it was straight shift. It was 3 in a tree, and
that's wild.
It really helped me learn on when you're in hilly places and you're stopped at a stoplight.
I don't have to worry about that anymore, Joey.
Be ready to ease that clutch out into first gear.
I know, but my truck now, if I let off my brake and I'm on the incline, it won't move. It keeps the brake engaged until I hit the gas. So it's called Hill Assist by GMC. I love it. Greatest thing in the world. Don't ever have to worry about rolling backwards.
That's good technology right there.
So
we don't have that technology. Well, you know what? The folks at GM, they've thought about consequences that could happen.
They got that fourth picture.
Yeah, they know the fourth picture that could happen. I'm on a hill on College Street.
Yes, that Volkswagen Bug I had, it was on a hill, and if you were on a hill, you were rolling backwards. So I'd always use my handbrake. So okay,
or pop that clutch just in time, just to
popping clutches. That takes me back. I haven't had
I do miss being able to start a car
by just pushing,
by rolling it and putting it in like third gear and popping it, and it'd start up.
Yep.
And if your battery was dead, so I miss those. The generation today, if your battery was dead, you know that I can drive around on this for a week, but I need to park either on a level place or park on a little bit of a hill where right when I turn the key and I point the wheels, I could start rolling, and it'll start up as I get up to about 10 miles an hour. And
I love it. I remember doing that quite often, pushing and jumping in and popping the clutch.
Yeah.
So here we go. What did I get to? Number 3. I think 3.
We're at 3.
This one is something that I'm going to throw at you. It's AI in the South. And AI generated it, AI in the South. What if robots had Southern accents?
Ooh.
I seen something on YouTube that was very similar to this. And I wish I could remember the group that did it. It's a Southern thing or something like that. I can't remember who it was, but they had a robot that actually spoke country and used the Southern dialects for everything, like fixing to, reckoning, bless his heart, bless her heart. It's just hilarious. So that when that popped up on the list, I was kind of like, okay, that took me back to that one, but it's been a couple of years ago before AI really took place. This was actually, it's almost like, what was that one that Eddie Murphy did a stand up, and he says, what if the car actually spoke street instead of, yo, you better get out that car. I won't go in the deep details.
The closest thing I'm thinking of whenever you mention that was our GPS. Remember how you could pick different accents for your GPS and directions?
Yes, that is wild.
And so we kind of do have an example where a robot could have different dialects.
Yes.
This would be a great thing. I know that our listeners are way more creative sometimes, and they probably have immediately thought of some accents, Matthew McConaughey, or what if Joe Pesci's voice was placed in a robot? Or so in the comments below, type in someone's accent that you'd like to see in a robot,
And the thing about
or
AI
tag someone.
is now you can generate it. You can actually generate a robot talking in whatever person you want. I don't know if you were here
Man,
two
that's
seasons ago.
scary right there. That's scary, funny, scary.
Yes, but I don't know if you can remember, but two
Like, you can't
seasons
give me
ago.
that kind of power, Alan.
Well, 2 seasons ago, I downloaded an app that made it to where you could type in something and the celebrity that you chose could say it. I think I did one for Morgan Freeman talking about wishing us an
Yes.
anniversary. That was the first time that I thought that was just cool as all get up. And I don't know, but last year they came out with some of the B list celebrities that used to be A list are now they'll record something for you, and it's kind of funny because now AI can do it, and it's scary. But I think they're trying to pass laws that are going to make it to where you can't. If you do that, then you could, go to jail, which I think is great. I don't think you
Yeah.
should be robbing
Yeah.
people from their
Absolutely.
livelihood.
There's some folks that's been harmed in it, and we certainly understand that.
Yeah,
But
it's
at
not
the same
good.
time,
Yeah, it's not good. I mean,
we
we make
at the
fun
same
of AI.
time, whenever you're just using something for comedy and you're
Yeah.
not disparaging that person, and it's
Using it for
known,
anything off of what normally. I mean, just having fun.
right?
That's okay.
You're not making them lose
Right.
money over this.
They're not going to lose money just by wishing me and Joey a happy anniversary. I promise you that. Okay.
Whenever you said those A-list celebrities have kind of slipped down to the B-list, I immediately thought of Alan Robertson and
Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm a D-lister.
I remember when he was on those A-list
I'm a D-lister.
invites, and now he's down here with us.
So here's one that I don't know. I don't know that I've ever done this, Joey. My number 4 here. That time I lied on my resume. I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe I might have
I
stretched the
think
truth.
our generation is so afraid knowing that this piece of paper, because our generation checked references.
Yes. And they don't do that anymore.
There wasn't the option that is okay for me to call your these folks that you've listed. If we put something, that question wasn't asked, we assume they're going to fact check this thing by calling these places and asking, tell me about the time that Joey was doing rocket surgery. And
that's awesome
I
because
better have given them Alan Robertson's number as my supervisor.
Right.
And that way he can say, Joey's one of the best rocket surgeons of his generation.
You'd find people that were not your references, were not your family members, but were your friends because your family
We
members
lost
will throw you
him
out.
to SpaceX.
Yeah.
Is what did he put that on his resume? Oh, he's humble. He's humble.
He's humble. He shouldn't put that on there, but he is that good. That's what. Yeah, I will say that I've doing a lot of resume reading over the past several years that I've been doing resumes and interviews with folks. Some of the things they put on there, and you ask them the question, it's like, did you really know that? Should that have been on your resume? So I know that, and I get why they did it because these major companies went through and built an algorithm that would go through the resume and it would do it automatically via computer and people wouldn't put their eyes on it. So
it would find certain phrases or certain keywords, terms to pick out those resumes. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I get why people
Alan,
do it.
Is it C plus or something like that? Whenever you were doing like software and stuff like that. Basically, if you had someone that says, I'm C plus certified, and you are like, turn this computer on. Yeah. And they're like, yes, this is not my computer. Mine, the buttons are different places.
Yes. So
I don't
that
know if
was
I
one
could
of the
turn
main
this one
reasons
on.
why I went and got
Well,
the
open up
MCSE.
Excel for me.
Oh yeah,
Excel, Excel,
Excel. Let me see.
Excel.
What does it look like?
Like Excel barbecue.
Oh
Excel
my gosh,
barbecue
that's
on
hilarious. That's
Ashland City
hilarious.
Road is like a really good place. We're like, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So, number 5, Middle Tennessee's craziest urban legends. Huh.
urban legend.
Middle Tennessee's urban legends. So, the first one that always pops up when you do Middle Tennessee urban legends is what? We did a whole show on it.
Of course, I'm thinking of the Bell Witch, but I'm also thinking that I don't know if I would call that an urban legend because it's
True.
rural.
It was more than just urban. It went across the country. I believe a lot of people came for the Bell Witch to
But
Ashland,
if
Tennessee.
you think about what an urban legend is, uh, an urban legend is something that the pieces of the story are not specific and they're passed down to a lot of people. Like example, two teenagers get their car dies on this road, and the boy teenager, he's hoping to make out, so he's acting like it won't start, and then they hear a thing on the radio about an inmate that was released or that had escaped from the local jail, and he had a hook for a hand, and they kept hearing something outside the door, and then it got louder and more violent, and they finally escaped. And as they pulled up to a place that there was like a hook hanging from the doorknob, and that's like an urban legend. What I'm thinking, no specifics, but it's scary enough. Or
Well, it's an urban legend is told. I just typed it up here. If y'all heard it, tick, tick, tick. I've got a big
let's hear it.
typewriter.
Let's hear the definition.
An urban legend is a modern fictional tale that spreads widely, often told as truth, despite being mostly and entirely false. Not that I caught this fish, but that see, the Bell Witch. There was so when I pulled up the Tennessee urban legends, I started looking through those,
Yeah.
and one of the ones is from around here in Dixon, which is where the county I live in. Dixon had a werewolf uh, uh, urban legend, that there was an escaped werewolf in Dixon, and people saw it. This was in 1860s. But what it came
Mm.
off of was there was a train wreck or derailment in right outside of Dixon in the city I live in, Burns, and it was an old Burns rail station, and the train was a circus train, and it had a lot of animals on it, and one of the animals that got away was a wolf, and somebody said that it bit somebody and turned them into a werewolf. So the legend is that there was a werewolf loose in Dixon County, Tennessee. Um, and another one, well, so Joey, there was another one that I sent you just the other day, that I
Mm.
think your son said he would be wanting to go and visit us. It
Yeah.
was the what is it, the Haunted Bridge, or the
Yeah.
it's right in Oak Grove, Kentucky, which is right there in Tennessee, Kentucky line. Small town called Oak Grove, and it's a road that the urban legend is that a Fort Campbell Army soldier came back from being on leave and found his wife laying with her brother or his brother, and
Mm.
he took her out and threw her off the bridge. Now I've seen the bits on YouTube. I haven't been there yet. I'm a little shocked why I haven't been there, considering Joey and I have been all over Christian County.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why I've never been there, but they say that if you turn your car off and put it in neutral, that it will go. If you turn your car off at night and try to turn it back on, it won't come back on until daybreak. I don't know if this is true. I, All I know is from the videos that I've seen, there's a lot of paint on the ground, but there is a little creek. I guess it would be a creek running through there. I mean, to me, a river's big, creek is smaller, brook, if you will. Uh, but yeah, for the most part, that's an urban legend, and kind of curious. We need to get your son and us to get out there to go visit it, and maybe take a camera or a phone. Everybody's got phones, and go out there and actually do a spot on it and upload it. I think that would be pretty cool. But that's some of the urban legends. So think of an urban legend that you might think of out there that Joey and I don't know about. I mean, we'd love to go.
You know, I immediately uh, thought of just also some of the ghost stories and that pop up that every community has. And Clarksville Now is a local media group in Clarksville, and back in October they posted some of the ghost stories from the Civil War, because Alan and I, we did a show where we were at Fort Donelson, and so the Union soldiers took over where the Red River and where the Cumberland River meet.
Mm-hmm.
And but in places in town, there are stories of hauntings where in the Clarksville Now article, it talks about the place where Austin P was located. It was like Stewart's College or something like that. And there were some stories of a Civil War soldier that was had haunted those grounds. And so we'll try to post that story and share that story on our Nonsensical Talk website and also on our social media. But what are some of those urban legends that you guys are familiar with that we may not be familiar with? We'd love to go visit that place.
So I'm going to skip 6 here because it doesn't really, it's kind of like but I'll read it. It says, is this a red flag or just being human? Now, we could do stories on this for days because,
right.
I mean, it's basically just sending it out there. It's quirky habits that people do. And is it a red flag because
you know what?
they shouldn't be there?
Here's what we could say on this right here, Alan.
Okay.
We are up front that our show is called Nonsensical Talk. So the title of the show, we even tell you that everything that we're talking about is just things that hit our little brains, and it's not it's just nonsense. So we're letting you know up front that it's nonsensical talk. But when folks say some of the things that are said in a sensical, those are red flags. See, we've already set the stage that, hey, we've taken that off the table. This should not be a red flag because we've already let you know that this is all just nonsense topics and some of the crazy ideas that hit our brains when we're shooting from the hip and we hear up the difference would be between, is something a red flag when you see it, and something was it said at a comedy show by a professional comedian? That should not be a red flag.
No. Speaking of which,
was it said by your boss and to you at work? Probably need to tell HR that the boss, and I'm thinking of Michael Scott of the things he would try to repeat
if you
from
get
comedians.
The phone call
and
from HR saying, "Hey, tell us that joke."
Comedian.
Yeah, tell us that joke.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
Tell us a joke that you said.
Yeah. Tell us that joke one more time.
Which one?
Going to go see Billy Gardell on Friday at Zany's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I tell you what, he's lost a lot of weight.
Well, he's also had a procedure done on staple stomach.
Now, was he on Ozempic?
He was on Ozempic, but when COVID hit, being large, robust, and blood types and all this other stuff was rolling out. So he said, you know what? I'm way overweight. So he went and had his stomach stapled and basically lost a ton of weight. I mean, he probably lost meat.
Usually those drugs, those like Ozempic, Wegovy,
yep.
Usually they'll take off a certain percentage.
I think it's like anywhere from 10 to 12% is what they're calling.
Yeah, it's usually it's a certain percentage. The claims will be,
but the only thing
30
is
to 40 pounds.
It's just helping you. So the only thing I say is if you put a diet with it and you do it, you're going to lose more than 12%.
Yeah, that should jumpstart and encourage the change of lifestyle, right. I guess you could say. But good for him because he probably added some years to his life.
Yes.
And he felt bad. He was when he was having those days that we all have where you wake up and you just don't feel 100%. Good. He probably felt worse than us.
All right, so topic number 7.
Oh, when you going to see him?
Friday.
Ooh.
Yes. Can't wait.
He's going to be at
Zany's. Can't wait.
Zany's in Nashville.
Can't wait to go check him out, see what his stand-up is. I've seen a couple of his stand-ups on YouTube, but I can't wait to see what it is. So here we go with topic number 7. Here we go. Now, this is probably near and dear. If you were to go and look at every fast food chain in the country or in the United States, we'll just say U.S., and you had to pick 5 foods from all of these different places, what would be your top 5 foods to buy from? If you could go to every chain and choose one, or if you choose one food or 2 foods, it doesn't matter. But it basically says it's like a fast food draft. Start with McDonald's fries versus Wendy's fries and who wins. But if you had to go buy French fries from somewhere, I think if you remember back in our first season, Mark was on here with us, and I think we all agreed that Wendy's has the best French fries. So if you had to have French fries, and if Wendy's French fries were served at every fast food restaurant, that'd be awesome. Then you start thinking about other things and expound on that. What would be your top 5 items if you could go to one place that served everybody's food, like the food court at the mall? You could go to the mall and eat at each different food venue and get your top 5. What would they be?
My number 1 would probably be the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich. And it's funny that you said that if it could be served at a mall, because Chick-fil-A's, did you know Chick-fil-A's started in a mall? They weren't in their own building.
Yes.
They were all just in food courts.
Wasn't that down in Atlanta? The Atlanta mall?
They could just rent a space as they were building their brand. It was really just chicken sandwiches, and
that was it.
Very limited menu. So they just got popular of being one of those mall food court places, almost like an Orange Julius.
Yeah.
Some of those places that
every mall
are known for just being in a food court, but you would never picture an Orange Julius building a restaurant, and they may have them somewhere in the country. You guys are welcome to tag me if you're like, hey, we still have an Orange Julius in Anchorage, Alaska. If it's something like the last Blockbuster, if it's like that. But Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwiches, and my wife likes the deluxe. I'm okay with the deluxe. It's just got lettuce and tomato on it. And
see, I just like the plain one.
Man, I'm paying like $1 extra for slice of tomato.
Yeah.
Like,
Me, I just like
give
the
me
plain one that has the 3 pickles on it. That's it. It makes
but
it
yeah,
great.
I'd say the spicy chicken sandwich is the first thing that pops in my head of what could be on other menus. And I know everyone's tried to copy that.
Oh, no doubt. And I've tried to copy it. I've gone, so I don't know, but the chicken minis. I've got another web page that I wanted to start back when COVID was kicking, but job got away. But I did record a episode of the chicken minis, how to make chicken minis from home. I'm gonna put that
Is
up
that
one day.
Cooking with Alan?
I'm gonna put that up one day.
Cooking with Alan is one of my favorite shows, Alan.
It will be.
I'm gonna do a plug right there.
It will be.
Like, whenever I get a text from Alan that says, "Hey, let's get on and record some nonsensical talk," I'm like, "What do you mean we're cooking with Alan? Like, should I wear a tuxedo?"
Well, that will come. That will come. All right, so do this, and like I said, Joey and I, he likes the chicken sandwich. I'm gonna be honest with you. With Chick-fil-A, the number one thing that I buy at Chick-fil-A is the chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit that they finally put on the menu, because I used to have to do the chicken biscuit with egg and cheese. Had to add it every time. And then about 4 or 5 months ago, I was looking on the app and ordering my Chick-fil-A, and there it was, the chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit. I said, finally.
You invented that, Alan.
I've been doing chicken, egg, and cheese biscuits for 5
Alan,
years.
I was in Hopkinsville with my cousin. It was probably 5 years ago, and it was when Mary passed away.
Right.
Folks came to. No, wait a minute. No, it was a long time ago. It was in the 90s.
Holy crow, that was
Anyway,
a long time ago.
Chris Higgins is my cousin, and it was late at night, 90s. We're in our 20s, and we go to Farrell's. And of course, you remember in the 80s and 90s, that's when Red was there. And so this is like 1992, I believe. And we're sitting at the counter eating Farrell's. That's the best experience to eat it. That way you can people watch as people come in and you're eating. And so folks went before me. They got a bowl of chili and a couple Farrell's burgers. And I said I'd like a chili burger. And they said, their response was, "We can't make that." And I said, "I have good news for you. You can make it. Here's the recipe. That burger, that before you wrap it, you see the chili over there you made his bowl of chili with?
Pour it on
it. Put that on it and then put the bun on it." And so the chili burger, or the chili cheeseburger at Farrell's, I don't know if it ever got put on the menu, but I'll never forget their response whenever they were like, "We don't have the formula for that, sir."
So what I did with that, Joey, is I did a Farrell's burger.
Yeah.
And I put it in a bowl of chili.
You had to manufacture it a little bit. Like, you invented cheeseburger chili.
Well, I don't know about inventing it. All I can tell you is that I used to take
cheeseburger chili.
2 of the Farrell.
No, chili. It's a bowl of chili with with chopped up cheeseburger.
So let's think about this, Joey. If we were to look at Farrell's, and you know how they made their burgers.
Yeah.
They were the first smash burgers.
Yeah.
That I can ever remember.
No, well, you know what? I'll tell you who would debate us. No, because Farrell's came out in the 20s.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Been around a long time.
What does that sign say behind Farrell's, that green lit up sign, since 19...
I can't remember.
I would have to go and Google the picture. But I'm trying to think when Freddy's and when because Freddy's is a smash burger,
Right.
and also White Castle.
Well,
No, not White Castle. I'm thinking of Steak and Shake.
yes, White Castle.
Steak and Shake might be an 80s or 90s.
Yeah, White
company.
Castle came out later.
No, White Castle's not it. They demonstrated just making a sack full.
Yes.
But I'm thinking of I was thinking of Steak and Shake. That's a smash burger also. And smash burgers, it has that little bit of gristle around the edge. But I'm trying to think I'm thinking that Freddy's was started by a guy named Freddy something that after he was in the army in either World War I or II, that he then started his burger place.
Right. Yeah, I don't have it. It's not on their Farrell sign. I've looked at both signs, the one in Hoptown and the one in Katie's. But they have special breakfast. But I'm going to tell you, that smash burger is just divine.
I'm trying to do the research here,
Well,
Alan.
research on the fly. That's what I like.
Yeah. Well, of course, I didn't know the questions. So
let's see. So,
So the guy that started Freddy's is Bill and Randy Simone, and their dad, Freddie Simon, was in World War II. That lets you know that it was in the late 30s, early 40s.
And the late 40s is when Farrell started.
Is when his dad kind of like the car hop days.
Yeah.
And now would Sonic Burgers or Whataburgers, would they qualify as steak as
not really to me
burger?
Because I've had their burgers and they're formed. They're like McDonald's and the Whopper. I mean, they're formed already. All they're doing is putting them on the flame, and they say the smash burger at Whataburgers is it to me is a frozen burger they throw in a fryer.
Yeah,
that's not a smash burger to me. Smash burger is you put a ball and you smash it down and make it thin and then throw it on a grill.
Now, folks at Whataburger, you're welcome to blast us if you want to. If we're wrong about something,
let us know.
Comment under there and say, no, this is the process, without telling your secrets.
Right.
Because we'd love to hear from you. And we like the interaction.
So the last thing we're going to talk about, I know there's 3 more on here, but the other 2 really to me. But the one that I'm going to bring up, and the reason why I bring this up is because I'll never forget it. What was it? I think Facebook had been around a little while, and I think maybe it had been 15 years ago, Joey. But you put up this wonderful thing about running for mayor. Goldie, was it Goldie?
Goldie Wilson.
So this one says, what if we ran for mayor? What would our slogan be? This one right here comes up with the AI generated comes up with an example since it's under my chat GTP. And it says, vote for Alan for free waffle fries on Friday.
Mine would probably, if it searched all my comments on, it probably mentioned something about Thin Mints. Thin Mints year round. Don't just wait for Girl Scout cookies.
There you go. And
that's a season.
That's
right
like, there, yeah. That's a season, Thin Mint season.
It's Thin Mint season, guys.
And don't change the recipe.
Thin Mint. I've got to get this body in Thin Mint condition.
Do not change the recipe anymore. Go back to the way it was.
I don't need to get in mint condition. I need to get in Thin Mint condition. Those are 2 different.
And you have to put them in the freezer and you have to take them out.
I have to post that. These are things that run through my head whenever I post stuff, and I'll post that just to prove. Where you'll go back and be able to search it. I'll post that today.
Love it. So, letting AI generate us our show is awesome, and I like the fact that Joey did not know what was going to be talked about. Joey's quick-witted. Me, I like to think about things. Makes us work
It's
good together.
dangerous if I think about things.
Yeah.
It's less.
Get dangerous.
It's too. When I have time to think about it, it's not as good. Let's just put it that way. You see that right? That's an example right there. It's not as good. I should have had something more clever to say.
Well, your quick-wittedness that comes out, right? It's a quick wit that if you had time to think about it, it might not be so witty.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So, as we've talked about in the show, we've talked about empty nesting. We've talked about being old. We talked about Southern sayings, weird things that people do in public because we like to people watch. What else? Why people lie on their resume, or I lied on my resume, or what I said on my resume. Urban legends, the craziest things in Middle Tennessee. And remember, if you can think of them, give it to us. And we kind of jumped in on the ones that I didn't go through, but I will next time around. Is the things that boomers, Gen X's, millennials, and Gen Zs will never agree on. That'll be on our next show. Because I think that's a big one. We could spend an hour talking about that one. So
we covered a lot of great topics.
Yes, and
definitely.
Thanks to AI and that pulling the nonsensical stuff out. We're going to give it a shot next time around and see if we can get them to do it again. Now that life is kind of caught up and kind of slowed down. Now we can start doing this more often, having more fun with it, and I think that it adds to people that like to listen to just nonsensical crap. We're good with that. Coming up, I don't know if I got an invitation from Becky East on the Lafayette Day coming up in the June. Remember Lafayette? I think we did a whole episode on that. Is Where Are You Eating? Back in
Alan, we also need to reach back out to Big Fat. He's got a movie out.
Oh man, yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I can't wait to. I have not looked at it.
We have to reach out to our friend Chris.
Yes, to find out all the backstories. I mean, I've been watching him here lately. His comedic gestures have gotten better. The older he's getting, the more funnier he's getting. I absolutely.
He's like a wine. He's getting better with age.
Better with age. We got to get him back on here for sure, because YouTube has just been blowing up with him. That I watch a little bit on Facebook every now and again, but I do watch YouTube a lot more with him. But yeah, definitely got to get him back on. So, guys, till next time.
Be good to one another.
Love it.
Be kind.
Have fun.